I was asked to explain why the instruction on an Enlightenment Intensive, tell me who you are, is a koan. And it's a koan, by definition, an unanswerable question, because the answer to that question, tell me who you are, lies outside the mind. So the mind cannot answer the question. The mind can come up with all sorts of answers to the question. My mind can go on for a very long time to tell you who it thinks I am. But my mind is a filtering mechanism of reality. So there is reality, and then my mind tells me or filters my perception of it. So on an Enlightenment Intensive, certainly we begin by trying to answer the question using the mind. We use the technique. I intend to get to the absolute truth of me, the absolute, not just my mind's version of the truth of me, but the utter truth of me. And then I open to whatever arises as a result of that intention. And in that moment of opening, my mind will come along and say, this, that, the other, many other things, or lots of nothingness. But my job on the intensive as a participant is just to persist and persist and persist with, I want to get to the absolute of me, who I am, underneath my suit, underneath my perceived identity. Who is this that has learned this language? Who is this with this mind, with this brain? And it's just a case of persisting and intending and opening to what is present until at some point, hopefully, ideally, the mind shuts up or just empties temporarily sufficiently or just stops with the whole filtering business just for long enough for me to be present with myself in the absolute moment of. And the other problem with the mind is a function of, or as a consequence of, my being, reality, existence. And so it's impossible to use that mechanism to explain or present what is before or behind that mechanism. So the mind is just stuffed, really. It cannot answer the question. But the other paradox, we use the mind to get to ourself. We actually use the mind and the power of concentration we have, the power of attention we have, the power of will. We harness the mind using our power of will to say, look, I'm now going to get from here to there, absolutely. I'm going to get to the absolute of me. I can use you for part of the journey, the willful bit, but actually to get there, I have to let you go. I have to surrender you. In the process of going for truth, one of the things that happens is we surrender mind. It's like using a bunch of horses to get somewhere, and then at the last minute you don't need the horses, you can't use them anymore, but God, you've got to love them, but you can't use them to get there. That's why it's a koan. Not sure that's a brilliant explanation, but it's my best today.